I clicked the button.
You click the button. Hopefully they can hear us.
Well, that's off. That's green. So we're good because it's Monday at 8 o'clock. And if it's Monday at 8 o'clock, then it's Mighty Monkeys Nerd World News. And I am your host. My name is Chris, and teenagers scare the living shit out of me. With me, as always, is the effervescent Tanya. Hello, Tanya.
Hello.
I know I'm looking at you sort of because I'm looking that way, but I am looking at you because I can see you on the screen in front of me.
You can.
It's kind of wild. Technology at its finest.
You go like this.
Hello.
Hello.
Melanie's here. Vicky's here. John is here. All the important people are here.
And more importants are coming.
And that's a thing. People will join in and have fun along the way. So for the next 27 and a half minutes, maybe 33, we're not sure yet, we will entertain you, inform you, agitate you, and maybe even scare the living crap out of you.
How about 42?
Oh, I can't go for that long. I'm old. You want to agree, I can tell. Greg is listening too. Hi, Greg. So let's jump right into it, shall we? I apologize. I'm going to cover up your face here for a moment, my dear. It's such a pretty face, too, but it's a thing.
Thank you, John. Sorry about my 49ers.
All right. Deadpool 3 trailer drops during the Super Bowl, and the title of the movie has been revealed. I'd rather look at Tanya than the logo. There we go. Hi. The Merc with a mouth meets the best there is at what he does, and together they're Deadpool and Wolverine. Marvel Studios kicked off marketing for the next MCU movie with a Deadpool 3 trailer during the Super Bowl last night, which, unfortunately, I have not seen yet.
I didn't see it either. So
I saw the Super Bowl. Well, I saw parts of the Super Bowl. Anyway.
I saw a little blurb of Ryan Reynolds saying that the trailer was dropping, whatever, and then the line was like, "Has anyone seen my wife?" And his wife was.
It's in the write-up here.
Yeah. Well, I knew exactly where his wife
was. The trailer revealed the title of the much-anticipated movie Deadpool and Wolverine. The R-rated movie's trailer reunites mouthy mercenary turned two-paid salesman Wade Wilson, played by Ryan Reynolds, and adamantium clawed mutant Logan, played by Hugh Jackman. For the first time since 2009's non-canon X-Men Origins Wolverine, a timeline pruned from the multiverse by a time-traveling Wade in 2018's Deadpool 2. In the trailer, Wade says, "Your little cinematic universe is about to change forever," and dubs himself the Messiah of Marvel Cinematic Universe. "I am Marvel Jesus," he says. The action-packed footage, which features a blink-and-you'll-miss-it return of X-Men 2, X-Men United's hot-headed mutant Pyro, played by Aaron Stanford, ends with a blue and yellow-suited Wolverine seen only in shadow and heard the unsheathing of Wolverine's claws. Snake. All right, so what else we got here? Reynolds posted later on his Instagram about the trailer and his wife halfway through the game. "Has anyone seen the Deadpool trailer? Also, has anyone seen my wife?" His wife, Blake Lively, was sitting with her friend Taylor Swift in the very expensive $2.5 million, that is, stadium suites, and was seen almost every time the camera panned to the suite. Deadpool and Wolverine is scheduled to be released on July 26, 2024. Ooh. We will let you know which movie theater Tanya and I will be at.
Tinseltown, chances are, if it's around a 7 o'clock show, it's going to be Theater 9.
Probably Theater 9.
That's usually what happens.
Hello, Peter. Hello, Vicky. Hello, Jay. What's going on, my friend?
I know. So it's like I recognize Blake Lively in there.
Oh, she was hilarious. They had some of the best freaking moments. You know what?
I just didn't know who else was in the suite with her.
Let me make my opinion very clear. I am a Swiftie. Now, why am I a Swiftie? Because I like her music? No, that's Dan's job. He likes her music. Taylor does not. She's very talented, great artist. Does not make music that I prefer to listen to. When it's on, I don't turn it off, but whatever. I am a Swiftie because I think Taylor Swift is a classy young lady. I love what she does for her fans. I love the way she talks to people. I love the way she just lets things go and just keeps running forward. And
how
the way
she takes care of people.
Yes, how she takes care of people and how she becomes part of the joke. She gets it. So I caught how, I don't know if it was the Super Bowl or the game before. Apparently there's a drinking game out. Every time you see Taylor Swift during the football game, you have to chug. Well, she saw herself on the monitor, on the Jumbotron, and she slammed the cup down.
We're like, oh!
And I'm like, That girl, I like that girl. That is cool. So I will defend Taylor Swift to anybody who wants to talk bad of her, because you know what? It wasn't the Bills' fault, or it wasn't Taylor's fault that the Bills lost. I'm going to put that out there. It wasn't Taylor's fault that Kansas City won. It's not scripted. And if you think it's scripted, you're an idiot. So there I am. I'm
only if someone dresses up as Taylor Swift.
That'd be hilarious. My daughter wanted me to ask you if Taylor Swift is coming to the Comic-Con.
Yeah.
Dan would love that as much as your daughter would. Unfortunately,
way
I don't think we can afford her budget. That's the thing. Yeah.
I can't afford one of her concert tickets.
She would be more than welcome to stop by if she were in the area. We would definitely, Dan would show her around, and have a good time doing it.
So, hint, Taylor, if you happen to come through Rochester in September.
And Blake Lively last night.
Oh my God.
She got surprised by something. Shut the up. I thought that was phenomenal. That was amazing. And
Dan would faint.
Dan would faint. That's true. I agree with you. Tired of seeing people saying it was rigged. Seriously, professional wrestling is rigged. Professional football is not. I don't give a damn that it has a... No, oh boy, I'm ranting. Look at me, I'm ranting. I don't give a damn that people say, oh, it's sports entertainment. I don't care. I don't care. It's not rigged. Your team just sucks.
I feel horrible for Dre Greenlaw, whose Achilles heel blew out as he went to go. He was
what team does he play for?
49ers.
And his Achilles blew out.
Yeah, as he was leaving the sidelines to go out onto the field.
Oh,
it wasn't even during a play. It was horrible.
Peter, Deflategate was not scripted entertainment. It was the Patriots cheating because they're grabbing onto what little of the glory days they had left at the time.
Yes, Vicky, it was a really close game.
It was a close game at the end. It was beautiful. I thought it was great.
Mm-hmm.
I feel bad for that. I did not know about the Achilles thing. My Achilles is rough on my left side, so I definitely can feel his pain on that one.
It would have been different if Moody's extra point hadn't been blocked. And that would have been the game changing, because we would have been one up. We would have had 20 to their 19. But that's armchair quarterback.
Hindsight. What do you mean? What did you scream for?
Armchair quarterbacking. Football quarterbacking.
Okay.
The day after.
Okay.
It was a bad pun.
No, because armchair quarterbacking a football game is actually like a national pastime here in the United States. All right, let's move on to our next story. We have another one, and then we have some stuff to talk about for FC3. So I'm going to bring this graphic up because look at this pretty young lady here. All right. Animated Moana sequel is now coming this fall. The Moana franchise remains popular, so this November fans will get what they've been waiting for. Moana Waialiki of Matauni. I know I massacred that. I apologize. Mantauni. Anyway, is returning to the big screen for an adventure unlike anything she has ever faced. Walt Disney Company CEO Bob Iger announced last week Moana was first developed as a TV series, but as the plot grew into a film, because the demand was increasing, and now the demand is increasing for more. Moana 2 will be an expensive new voyage with Moana, Maui, and the brand new crew of unlikely seafarers as Moana will head out on a dangerous mission to the far seas after receiving dairy instructions from her ancestors. No details have been released about the voice actors, but Alui Cravalho will be returning for the sequel to voice Moana. Moana 2 is separate from the studio's live-action remake, which is still in the works, featuring Dwayne Johnson as the tattooed demigod Maui. However, composer Lin-Manuel Miranda, whose work on the first film's soundtrack was nominated for 2 Academy Awards, will not be working on the Moana 2 soundtrack, according to Variety magazine. The animated film will hit theaters the day before Thanksgiving on November 27th, 2024. Let me ask, rather you saying it than me. I pride myself on trying to get different names pronounced correctly. Ethnic names. We'll say ethnic names pronounced correctly. Because it's respectful to the person who bears said name. I always try to get it right. And if I don't, I will always be the first to apologize and ask for help in figuring that out.
Try reading the global history exam.
I have.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Out loud to a student.
Okay, well, that I can't because I'm not a certified teacher. I'm certifiable. It's a different thing.
Moana searching for Stitch.
There you go, Peter. That's a good one. All right, so folks.
Abomination.
Cute and fluffy. There it is. Look at those dates. They are no longer covering September 14th and 15th. They are now covering September 13th through the 15th. All right, the 13th through the 15th. What does that mean, Tanya? That means on Friday, the 13th, we're throwing a party.
Ooh.
Because why not?
Ooh.
Why not?
Did we really think about this, that it's Friday to the 13th?
We did consider that.
We
fly in the face of it because our luck sucks on a normal basis. So this is going to cancel it out. And we're going to have a great night.
We're not going to have any ladders out. Right?
We're not going to have any ladders out. No. Yes, there's right in the middle is the Mel.
Yes.
So new at FC3 on Friday, September the 13th is Friday night programming. There will be music. There will be food trucks.
Yeah.
There will be vendors. The vendor floor will be open on a limited basis.
Yeah, we don't know how many vendors will actually be set up and still.
And there will be, for your entertainment, a Dungeons and Dragons one-shot where a dungeon master will be taking 7 players into a 3-hour adventure. You just very well might be one of those 7 players, or you might be in the audience cheering them on. Now, who's the poor sucker we got the dungeon master that?
I do believe that's you.
Oh, crap.
Yes.
That's right. It is me. And I have to reach out to my buddy Caleb at Millennium Games because we're going to start figuring out how we're going to figure out who those 7 players are. We will be looking for experienced players. Unfortunately, this is not going to be the kind of situation where we can teach people how to play the game on the fly. However, I will be available to teach newbies at other times outside of the con. Let's see. You might be over with me and Greg playing the dating game, or I might be over with Melanie and Greg playing the cosplay dating game. That's a possibility as well. So that's a thing. Where else will you see us popping up in the near future? I do see on the calendar March 16th and 17th.
Yes, we are going to be at Central New York, the Syracuse Collectors Con at the New York State Fairgrounds in the horticulture buildings. Ann and I will be down there. I think Deanna might be down for a day. Somebody else might be down for a day.
We can see your comment just fine, Vicky. Your keyboard does not appear as stuck as you are afraid of.
Yeah. So come check us out down there. And then on March 23rd and 24th, we will be tabling at ToraCon at the RIT. I was about to say Inn and Conference Center, but it's the RIT Gordon Fieldhouse. So myself, Chris, maybe I think we'll see Brian that weekend because he's going to be there. So we'll come check us out there. We hope to have some type of announcements by then.
Right.
I am in agent limbo.
Yeah, she's stuck at the moment because she has done her part, but agents are not doing their part in getting back to us in a timely fashion. So we were hoping to have a guest announcement for you tonight. We do not have a guest announcement for you tonight, nor will we at the meantime until we get some things signed. But just know that we are working on it, and that getting that pinned down is on our list of things to do. So that will happen. Well, we always like to talk about it, Peter. Thank you for the comforting, the no rush there. But unfortunately, people are now starting to message us and saying, "Do you have guest announcements? Who are your guests?" Apparently, these are folks who are not aware of the fact that if we have one, we'll share it. We're not in the process of hiding stuff like that.
No, but I heard that we might hide like little ducks at FC3. Maybe we can find little monkeys to hide. Has anyone seen the TikToks where people hide like the little teeny tiny?
How'd you guys get in my house?
Well,
you should never.
Story about that. You should have never given me your address to mail your pancake face.
You should never have done that.
Yeah, but that was paybacks for Ann giving you my address. And Ann's like, "No, I didn't." Yes, you did.
I'm sorry, but no matter what effort you put into that particular commentary, it will never surpass the greatest picture ever taken in FC3 history.
Yes. Is this where we get garbage plates? Well, I'm sure we could have probably made some had we known. But yes, I was saying, have people seen the TikToks about like their parents have gone on vacation and they're like elderly, like older parents, like 60s or whatever. And then like their 30-something kids will go and hide, and then like the dad's like, "Oh, there's another one, quack. There's another one, quack. There's another one, quack."
I don't know.
They're hysterical.
I don't know if we're planning ducks or try to find little like plastic monkeys to hide around the convention area. The venue. But and would it be for anything other than bragging rights?
It's just bragging
Bragging
rights.
rights.
How many you can find?
So this is something we're actually going to be doing. We're going to be hiding little toy monkeys all over the
But
place.
I think that would be
That would be
hysterical.
fun if we could do that.
I'm sure there's a couple Easter eggs still at the Blue Cross Arena from
Yes.
From what is it, 2019?
From 2019.
Yeah.
The 2019 show. I'm sure there's little Easter eggs there.
So.
Oh God!
Oh, bless you.
Paralyzed by a sneeze there. Oh no! Greg fell down today and couldn't get up. He was laughing too hard. It felt like a medical alert commercial. Oh no!
Well, there is a scavenger hunt. Melanie and Greg are working on that.
Yep.
So.
Greg Newton, which can be seen exclusively in the subscribers group.
Oh.
I believe that's the same group of Melanie Muse's team that you can see her
dinosaur thing.
Then you can see Melanie riding carefree. Being carefully chauffeured over my shoulder.
How is that shoulder?
It's fine. It's fine. 53-year-old man picks up a very slight and petite British woman. Film at 11.
It was like film at 7.
Film at 7. Yeah, that was true too. That was true too. That was fun. It was a fun, organic moment, and Melanie and I laugh about it every time we think about it. So, Greg's great journey. That's pinned to the top of the Muser page. Fantastic.
Oh.
All I know is I don't remember much of it other than it occurred, and then at one point I said I got my lightsaber back.
Mm-hmm.
I wasn't even holding it; she was still holding it, but I was holding her. So it's
technically you got your
lightsaber
back.
It's like Thor's hammer in the elevator. The elevator goes up; it's not worthy, but it was still holding the hammer. That's kind of a thing. It would be even more golden if Mel used the clapper to turn the lights off. Oh no. There's subtext there somewhere, I'm sure of it. Anyway, that's all we have right now. I'm pretty sure that's all we've got. Do you have anything you'd like to add?
Anna and I've been talking about comic chicking sometime.
Scooch over just a little bit, because I know what the audience really wants.
They saw her back.
Come here.
She's like, oh,
there she is.
She knew enough to turn around.
Well, she's trained at that moment now. She knows when I do that it's time to come up and sit on Daddy's lap and molest Daddy. So we get a little. Oh God! Now I'm getting molested by my dog. Hello, baby. Say hi to all your friends.
Over here.
I love that comic chicking is a verb. Yes, comic chicking is now a verb.
We've been trying to
There she is. She's a good girl.
Get it situated.
Hi, baby.
Because the
Oh dear.
Original plan when we restarted Nerd World News is we were going to flip-flop back and forth Mondays with me here, me at Ann's, me here, me at Ann's, but with a
variety of things
that have been happening around it and sickness and everything. And
yeah, look at this poor neglected animal.
I know.
Can you hear the Sarah McLachlan's music in the background as poor Juno? She just looks so terrible and disheveled and neglected and unfed, unloved.
So we are attempting to try maybe next week, because on Wednesday I don't have dance, so because it's a school break week.
I don't know. I don't keep track of school breaks anymore.
That's the reason why it's school break week for me. So no dance next week. So maybe, I'm not sure, but yes, we've got a lot of stuff to open. And
you guys should probably, you should pick like a Saturday and just go live at like 10 o'clock and do like an 8-hour live.
Just do a marathon
where you guys hang out and you talk. It's like Waiting for Godot, and people can come in and do it for charity.
And people could come in and out for the day.
Yeah.
And
for every box of comics that you open, you get like people to pledge money. So like $1 for every box of comics that you open in the 8-hour stretch, something like that. And so you get people that pledge, like they'll end up pledging like $20, $30, $40, whatever the case may be. And so you do your comic-thon, Wade's collection-thon, or no, it's a Wade-a-thon.
It's actually a pretty decent idea.
I do come up with good ideas once in a while.
We could,
when you guys are not dismissing me like offhand,
buy books for kids in the city of Rochester. Mel's like, "Oh, pick me up! I want to be there. I'll send money."
And all proceeds would go to our favorite charities like the book fair and you know and all those stuff.
And steal the swag. That's the real reason she wants to start stealing the swag. That's
there's some of that swag I got dibs on.
Maybe you'll have to come over and that might have to be a thing sometime.
There's a Tempest in a D cup or something like that. Anyway, before I get myself in too much trouble, you should do that live D&D that Friday night at the con. We're talking about it right now. It's still early days of how it's going to unfold. We may just set up some cameras and record it for posterity and put it up on our YouTube channel. The internet connection at the venue is can be sketchy at times, and I don't want to overload it while the vendors are doing transactions. So I'd rather the bandwidth there being used for sales and for the exchanging of funds rather than, the viewing of the death of 7 nerds at the hands of a maniac. I don't know. That's just my
running
job.
Of the nerds.
The annual running of the nerds. That's the convention itself. But we may have some cameras set up and do kind of like a recording of it for posterior sake. So
posterior?
For posterior sake. It just cover your ass. Check, please. Table 1. Thank you. But yeah, so there will be 7 seats available. In the next couple of weeks, I will figure out how we're going to go about the process of seeing who wants to fill those seats, and then we'll go from there. And then by September 13th, we'll have a battle plan ready to go.
Yeah. So, disclaimer: it will be 5th edition. You have to know the edition. You have to have played the edition, and you have had to have played before. You can't just be like, oh, this is my 3rd week playing. You have to be somewhat experienced because this is going to be
it's going to be
fast and not.
We need to be able to dive in and run through. I'm chatting with President Dan at the moment. Give me just a second.
Oh, what is President Dan saying? Did he say that? Ask him. Can we get little teeny tiny monkeys to hide around the convention?
I will ask him that when I talk to him later. He's busy at the moment. We're busy at the moment, and we've just run out of time.
Yeah, 22 minutes. It's.
So there.
Hello, President. It's partway to 42.
22 on its way to 42.
I can't do the Benny Hill.
Was I going to do a reading today? I was going to do a reading today, I think. So this is the point in the time and the stage of the show when I'm going to warn you it's about to get boring for those who are not interested in this sort of thing. But for those of you who like this sort of thing, this is the sort of thing you like. So part 2, let me go get that file there. No, come back here. There it is. So
I'll try to look.
Wow, that was unexpected. I don't know why I did that. Okay, there we go. That's very strange, but I'll take it. All right, so a reading from the book of Numbnuts, chapter 2. All right, where did we leave our friends off when we last checked? We were introduced to the sheriff. He showed up at the office, and he saw his deputy and picked on him for a little bit. I think that's as far as we got right there. And that was as far as I written, but I wrote more. It was
like 3 pages long.
Yeah.
At that point.
All right. So let's see. Okay. So I did another 3 pages, it looks like. Okay. Whew. Here we are, reading. All right. So the day ensued, and a predictable measure for Sheriff Stoll. Reports were written and filed. Equipment was checked, cleaned, and stowed away in perfect order. And when lunchtime came about, Stoll donned his uniform hat, slipped out the front door, and made sure it was locked behind him. 4 doors down and across the street was the absolute best diner in the area. The fact that it was the only diner in the area mattered little to alter Stoll's assessment of it. The short walk through the summer heat was enough to make anyone sweat profusely, and the sheriff was grateful for the cooler climes of the diner's air conditioning as he stepped in from the street. The other regulars were gathered there already, most of them retired farmers who had made knowing what was going on in the town their new full-time jobs. Several greetings were exchanged as Stoll made his way to the table in the far left corner of the room. As he settled into the booth, young Jack Wallace, the diner owner's middle son, was already there to set down a cup of coffee and a handful of silverware. Afternoon, Sheriff Stoll, Jack said. Should I have Mom start up the usual? Stoll nodded. Yes, please. Thanks, Jack. Stoll paused and looked up at the boy. You grow another centimeter when I wasn't looking? Jack grinned and shrugged. It's entirely possible, sir. Now, Stoll knew the answer before he even asked the next question, but something in the back of his head told him that it would be fun to ask nonetheless. How old are you now, son? 15, sir, Jack replied. Stoll smirked. My, oh my. All right, don't let me hold you up, young man. On your way. Yes, sir. And with that, Jack made his way to the kitchen. Is that you, Sheriff Stoll? Inquired a woman's voice. Stoll looked up, smiled, and nodded gently. Afternoon, Grace. Haven't seen you in this neck of the woods much lately. A woman of barely 30 pushed away from the counter and crossed over to where Stoll sat. Tish and I have been taking university classes these past few months, kept us all sorts of busy. The sheriff raised his eye in surprise. Really now? Well, that's wonderful. What are you two girls studying? Paleontology mainly, she replied. We got it in our heads to go on a dig next year and figured we should know what we're doing when we got there. While she had not laughed, the mirthful smile upon the young woman's face indicated that she could have easily burst into a raucous one were she not in public. The sheriff grinned. It'll never cease to happily amaze me when somebody takes the time to learn about something before they got knee-deep into it. It was at this point that they both started laughing out loud anyway. Well, don't let me keep you, Stoll added. Give my best to Patricia and tell her I said happy anniversary to the both of you. Grace brightened up. Oh, you remembered. The sheriff smirked. How could I forget? You two were my first ceremony after I took office. Grace beamed, offered a handshake to the sheriff, and bid him good day before returning to the counter to find that her takeout order was waiting for her there. She gathered up the insulated bag, said her goodbyes to those in the room, and darted out into the sunshine. The door to the diner had barely closed when Stoll's comm chirped, getting his attention. He slipped the device out of his shirt pocket and tapped a button. Stoll. Boss? It was Porter's voice, but Stoll perked up immediately. Porter never called him boss unless it was something serious. Go ahead, Wes. Boss, if you got a minute, would you be able to swing by the Mishikovsky farm? Stoll stayed icy calm. The way Deputy Porter made the request, the words he chose, the tenor in his voice, he knew something serious was going on. Yeah, sure, Wes. Give me a minute to get headed out your way. I'm over Beverly's at the moment. You want anything? He paused, but didn't give Porter a chance to respond. A milkshake? Yeah, sure, son. No problem. I suppose we can indulge on a day like today? A milkshake. Something cool. Yes, Deputy, Stoll thought to himself. Get the message and stay cool. Calm would be more like it. Yes, sir. That sounds good. Stoll out, said the sheriff curtly and tapped the button to cut the call. Beverly called out. When the proprietor and head chef obliged and poked her head into the room, he added, you mind making that to go? Deputy Dunn got himself all caught up in something silly, and I'm going to need to head out and get him sorted out. Beverly grinned and said, sure thing, Simon. I'll have that together for you in a jiff. You need anything else? Sure. Add in a milkshake for Wes. Surprise me on the flavor. She nodded and disappeared from view. One of the regulars, an elderly man named Holden Ross, inserted himself into the conversation. What's that young feller got himself up to this time, Simon? Stoll took on a comically serious expression and said in an exaggerated voice, police business, and followed up with a wink. A collective chuckle ensued, cut short by Beverly Wallace once again making an appearance in the room, handing the sheriff an insulated bag and what looked like a large thermos. Hope all goes smooth, Simon, she said. Will we see you tomorrow? Stoll nodded, tipped his hat to her, and made his way out. Stoll's cruiser came to a stop at the top of a driveway to the Mishikovsky residence a little while later. About 100 meters down the path was the farmhouse, the outbuildings, and a small well that bore down deep into the earth beneath it. Porter's cruiser was parked in front of the house right next to Pete Mishikovsky's truck. Beyond that were the farmlands that went on for quite a few acres. Something was amiss, though. And as he coasted along the path and approached the house, it dawned on him that 3 of Pete's 4 sunshades weren't aloft. Okay, so what did that mean? Was there a farm accident? That wouldn't spook Wes Porter so quickly. No sign of an emergency vehicle other than his and Porter's. Stoll sighed. This wasn't a farm accident. This was much, much worse. As he got out of his cruiser, Porter did the same. I saw Pete was missing a couple of sunshades on a day like today, started Porter immediately. So I figured to stop in and see if he and his crew were having issues. Maybe I could help. Maybe I can get him in touch with Kaylee to get her out here if it was something mechanical. It wasn't mechanical, though, Stoll said flatly. Porter's face fell, an almost sad look in his eyes. No, sir. How many? There was a pause. All of them, boss. Pete, his crew, even Millie and the kids. Another pause, and he said, they're all gone, sir. Stoll was a man of calm and professionalism. He was a gentleman and rarely, if ever, showed his temper. So a chill ran down Porter's spine when they heard the sheriff utter a soft but pointed, "Ah, fuck." More in a couple weeks. What do you think? Now, when this is all done and I reach the end, I'll put it all together in one file and post it probably to the Mighty Monkey Facebook, the FC3 Facebook, so anybody can just download it and read it as you see fit. So I have an idea of where it's going to go. This is something I've been thinking about when I started writing the first part of it like 8 years ago. I think it feels like a long, long time ago I wrote the first bit. But there we are, part 2, part 3 in a couple weeks. What?
You woke up your dog.
I woke up my dog. It's not possible. She never sleeps. So that was a very abrupt endpoint. Yeah, cliffhangers do that. Cliffhanger.
Hanging from a cliff. And that's why they call them cliffhangers. Get hold on much longer.
What is that from? I know that. What is that?
Between the Lions from PBS.
Okay.
It was a group of Pride of Lions that ran a library.
I remember that now.
Meat shower.
Yep.
Meat shower.
I remember that now.
And Tyler
when the kids were small.
Loved it.
Yeah. So that's all we're going to entertain you with. That was a half an hour of your Monday, and we thank you for sharing it with us. It's all good to see you guys. You can be best friends with Susan. Oh, you know what? I thought I already was. Anyway, she's actually the one who inspired me to get back into writing. Cousin Susan.
Yeah.
So thanks for hanging with me, gang.
I need to read book 5.
I need to read any book.
They froze.
And I froze.
My chair's still moving.
This hurts.
Then
I mean, that's more of a you problem than an us problem, Jason. But you can always catch the the West Coast feed, as Andy would put it. All right, friends. So for Tanya and for Dee, for Dan, for Brian, for Ann, for myself, for Juno, and for what's Ann's new doggy's name?
Mikey.
For Mikey and
right
Thumper and
Linny. Linny is
and for
Gerbil
and for Zoe and several other cats and Rocket, Milo. What's the horse's name? Brownie, and all points in between.
There's a lot more animals that we could name
yes.
pet-wise, and I think we're done.
We will see you guys very, very soon. Have a great week. Have a safe week, and we will talk to you again next week. It's Cliffhanger.